I'm not sure if I am an idiot. Gonna provide some background. I'm in my 60s now. I was married to my ex-wife and we had a daughter. Our marriage was going through its ups and downs, but I was really close to our daughter. But as our marriage was going through its difficulties, I made a huge mistake I still regret to this day. I started having an affair with my co-worker. She was in a violent, abusive relationship at home. We became friends at work, and things just escalated from there. She got an out from me. She got the support she needed to file for divorce from her husband, who is currently in jail. The affair went nowhere and we called it off shortly after, but I was glad that she got out of her abusive relationship and that she was safe. But when my ex-wife found out about the affair, things expectedly didn't go well. She lashed out and said a lot of horrible things about me to our daughter, who was a teen at the time. I admitted complete fault with the affair, but even after the divorce, I sensed that the distance between my daughter and me was growing until one day, my daughter said she wasn't going to speak to me anymore and she was going to cut me off from her life forever. That was the most painful thing anyone had ever said to me. I begged her to please reconsider. I still remember that day. But time passed, my daughter kept her word, and after trying to reconnect with her for the first year, I gave up. I found out from one of our mutual friends that my ex-wife married a great guy. I was happy because I was hoping that would remove the hatred from my ex-wife and that my ex-wife would advise our daughter to at least rekindle a relationship with me. But that never happened. I moved to a different state a year later. I am at peace now, but I still have some aching sadness. I have retired. Both my parents have passed away and my brother passed away tragically a couple of years ago. To be honest, I'm waiting for my turn. I have only my dog and my sister left. A couple of hours ago, my daughter called me on my phone. I last spoke to her 17 years ago. I instantly recognized her voice, but I didn't feel anything. No happiness, no sadness, just indifference. She was crying a lot on the call and we caught up on life. She's married and she has a daughter who is now a tween. She apologized for cutting off contact and she says her mom asked her to reconnect with me as her mom felt guilty about how everything played out. She said she wanted me to meet her daughter and her daughter constantly asked about granddaddy, but I wasn't feeling anything. After we caught up on everything in our life, I told her I didn't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again. I then hung up. Was I the idiot for telling her that I don't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again? This is one of the most obvious "you are the idiot" stories I've seen here. Good Lord! You destroyed her childhood and her family by choice. Where there's forgiveness, there's love. Your daughter forgave you enough to call you and apologize and express sadness and devastation over the lost time. You responded callously and hung up on her. I have only my dog and sister left. You had a chance to have your daughter. I think OP did them a favor in the long run. All these years later, he still has so many nice words for the woman he cheated with, but blamed his daughter for being devastated that he destroyed their family and gave up ever trying to speak to her again after a year and moved out of state. This guy is under the absolute delusion that he was a good father. She's probably better off without him, and so is her daughter. Not to mention that the daughter is completely valid in feeling betrayed in her own right. When men with families cheat, they aren't just harming the wife. He blew up his daughter's entire world and exploded her trust in him. It's true no one falls in love faster than two married co-workers. In this life, we owe nothing to anyone except our children. Pull your head out of your butt and fix it. But you wouldn't get it. He was saving his co-worker. As a father of a daughter myself, dude, screw off. You're a damn idiot. And stop acting like the victim here. Your daughter is not a hurt teenager anymore. She's matured, reflected on things in her life, and reached out. It's too bad she was right about you in the first place. Enjoy wallowing in your lonely misery. I was taking pictures at a family wedding as a favor. I was being paid about half what I normally charge, and I was fine with it. The bride is my favorite cousin, and her husband is amazing. During the formals, the wedding party was great, and I got lots of great shots. When it came time to take pictures of different family groups with the couple, people were idiots. They wouldn't stop talking or looking away from the camera. I tried politely reminding everyone that the camera was the big black thing on the tripod and that it took still images, not video. I was repeatedly told to shut up and stop being a smarty and that they knew what a camera was. I asked my wife to record a video of the responses for me. My cousin was delighted with the pictures from the ceremony, the formals and the reception. She laughed her butt off at the family pictures. In about half of them, people are looking off in all directions instead of at the camera. In most, people also have their mouths open. She thought they were hilarious and her husband agreed. I started getting crap on social media from my family about the terrible pictures. I replied that I tried to explain to them that the camera was the big black thing on the tripod and that it only took still pictures. They said I should have waited for them to be ready. So I started posting the short video clips of people being jackasses towards me. My mom said that I went too far and that they wouldn't ask me to take pictures for them again. I did a fake cry and said boo-hoo. She called me a smart aleck. Please let me state that I do not think I am the idiot in this situation, but many people do. They're upset because they don't often dress up and get together and they don't get good pictures. Not the idiot, the photos are an accurate reflection of their behaviour on the day. The only people whose opinions matter about the photos are the bride and groom who hired you. If they like them, then no issue. They've embarrassed themselves and don't like that their online tantrum turned around on them. It's easier to be right until evidence comes forward. And it sounds like they didn't give you the respect they would have given a photographer they didn't know. Absolutely, I used to do wedding photography and this happened from time to time. I sometimes assumed that the disrespect was due to my being a woman and sometimes that they were just oblivious or intoxicated. I would try to make comments the same way you did, to various results. The bottom line is they have a responsibility to cooperate if they want good photos. It's stunning how many people don't get that. They're jerks for not cooperating and then blaming you. That's their problem. And you posting proof of their misbehaviour is just more of that. You aren't the idiot for defending yourself, particularly when the couple doesn't mind either. When Era's tour tickets were released, my friend Sadie said she would grab us tickets and I'd pay her back. We made concrete plans and I was excited. I've been a Swiftie for years but haven't seen her live. I had to sell my Rep Stadium tour tickets back in the 2010s because my mom was dying and I needed the money to help pay medical bills. I booked the hotel. This past weekend I was having a little get-together for a bunch of friends and Sadie was of course invited. At some point she pulled me aside and told me that she had news. She is leaving in September. I was heartbroken. We've been friends for years and I love spending time with her. I got weepy, hugged her a bunch and said that we needed to get all our thrifting trips in over the summer and hang out as much as we could. Then she broke the news that as a way to bond with her sister before she left, she was going to be taking her to the Eras tour instead. I didn't know how to react. She stood in front of me and Venmo'd me my payment back. She was like, "I know you understand." I said this was a sneaky move and honestly really crappy of her and I don't understand how or why she would do that to me. She got defensive and said that they were under her name and that she didn't owe me anything. I was like, yes, they are your tickets. Legally, you can do whatever you want. But this is still a really crappy and sneaky thing to do to your friend, knowing there's no way I'll be able to get my own tickets at this point. She shrugged and said, "Sorry, but I figured you'd understand." I asked her to leave and told her not to come back for the 4th of July party next week. I said I needed to process this and that I'm really disappointed with her and how she's treated me. This is a girl who I consoled through breakups, job losses, pet losses, etc. She looked shocked and asked if I was serious. She ended up stomping off and leaving and texted me later to say that she was around if I wanted to apologise for making her feel bad about taking her sister on a bonding trip. I'm honestly heartbroken that I'm going to be watching my show on a grainy live stream instead of being there in the stadium with everyone. I was looking forward to this so much. I checked the resale sites and had a sad little cry about it. I'd like to know if I'm completely wrong to have just uninvited her. Is that too far? If it was in, say, a month or two, I don't think I would have. I just need time. Not the idiot. She didn't get herself tickets and invite you as her guest, then uninvite you, which would still be lousy. She agreed to buy a ticket on your behalf with the understanding that you were paying for it. That's how groups of people buy tickets if they expect to sit together. It was your ticket. It wasn't hers to give away. She's a garbage friend. I'd probably never speak to her again. Exactly this. You had an agreement. She buys the tickets and you pay her. She bought the tickets. You paid her. She owes you a ticket. Yes, she refunded you, but you would be successful in small claims to sue for breach of contract. The remedy would be to enforce the contract or award damages, which would be the difference in cost between what the original ticket was and what they are now. Did you get a refund for the hotel? If not, then she straight up screwed you over. Update, thank you for the responses so far. I just wanted to follow up on this by saying that I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not going to sue her over this. I don't think this is a normal reaction or something I enjoy doing. Please don't hate me. I feel like this is so insane, I'm sorry. Our relationship is normally pretty low drama, so this was left field. I've been wanting to bleach my eyebrows for a while. I told my boyfriend this and he said he didn't want me to because he didn't like the look. The thing is, he prefers me with short hair. I have long hair right now. I prefer him with long hair and he has short hair right now. It's not the end of the world. So I figured this could be the same way since it's not like it's permanent. I told him I'd probably get it done anyway, and if it looks bad, he can make fun of me all he wants. He said that if I did that, he'd bleach his brows, but I didn't really care. Anyway, I bleached them and I really like how they look. He doesn't like how it looks, which I knew was an option, but it upset him. Like he said, "I can't believe you did it." And then he literally got in his car and left. Then when I texted him, I got a late response hours later, "I can't talk to you right now." The next time we met, we just yelled at each other. When things are starting to cool down, he tells me that maybe he should bleach his hair so we're even. I didn't think there was anything to get even about, but I thought he might look good with bleached hair, and I also thought he was just suggesting it on some level because he already wanted to. He did it. I like it on him, but he hates it. He says I put him in this situation with the eyebrows thing and then hyped him to do it after when I should have known he was doing it for a petty reason. I feel like if I'm the idiot here, it's because I didn't take him seriously. Like, I didn't think he was totally doing it to get even. I don't know anyone else who'd dye their hair just to borderline spite someone else. Like, I feel bad, but I also feel like it's not really my fault here. Edit, I'm 18 and he's 23. You're right, it's insane. You are not responsible for him dyeing his hair. It was his choice to go ahead and do it. If you said he should wear a dress and makeup, would he do it? No. If he wants to be spiteful and petty, that's his problem. You can do whatever you want to yourself and he doesn't have to like it. I would tell him to drop the subject and not talk about it anymore. He's seriously acting like she forced him to do it. What did he think was going to happen? I'm going to bleach my hair for no other reason than pettiness. Oh my God, my hair is bleached. Look what you made me do. You're a big fat meanie head. I'm telling, it's your fault. What a giant child. You are the idiot if you stay with him. He's 23 and you're 18. There's a reason someone this immature is dating someone your age. A 5-year difference in your 30s or 40s, etc. is not that big a deal, but at your age it really is. He yelled at you for bleaching your eyebrows. Then he had to bleach his entire head and yelled at you again. This is ridiculous. Please think long and hard about if you want a tit-for-tat type of relationship. Now is when you should think about what you want in a partner and how you want relationships. The communication on both sides is not great either. Good luck. My parents named me, nearly adult female, Sawyer. My middle name is more obviously a girl's name, but I love my first name and I don't love my middle name. Most of my paternal family hates my first name though. They hate that I'm a girl with a boy's name. Some family members have tried convincing me to use my middle name instead. I always told them I love being Sawyer though. I'm willing to compromise and have people call me by both first and middle name, but that's about it. Only this isn't good enough, and lately more family members have been calling me just my middle name. I told them I didn't like it, and they said my first name didn't fit me at all, that I'm so girly and sweet that I should have a name that screams girl. I told them that Sawyer fit me perfectly, and I always loved having my name be a little unexpected. It bothers me when people call me by my middle name because I don't like it at all. This did not make them stop, so I told them last Saturday that I wouldn't respond if they used my middle name. I was told I was behaving childishly and my middle name is still a part of my name and they should be allowed to call me that. I told them if they don't respect my wishes, then why should I respect theirs when this is my name? Am I the idiot? Excuse me, your family wants to call you by your middle name instead of your first name. You object and they think you're the one who's being childish? Nope, they got it backward. Feel free to respond only to your first name. I suggest that you have your father lay down the law with his family on your behalf. You get to have a voice and speak for yourself, but the issue will probably be resolved to your satisfaction more efficiently if he intervenes for you. My advice is to give them ugly nicknames, or just give them entirely new names and say they fit their personalities better. Ideally, something old-fashioned like Gertrude. Sorry, Gertrudes. Also, since when is Sawyer not a girl's name? It's been a girl's name too for at least the last 40 years, and as of this year, it's about evenly split between boys and girls. Moreover, even if she were the only one, she's a girl, her name is Sawyer, therefore Sawyer is a girl's name. I'm reminded of a popular quote by comedian Susie Izzard. "They're not women's clothes. They're my clothes, I bought them." I mean, in retrospect, they were women's clothes, but the point still stands. My sister refuses to respond when people use her first name ever. Ever. Even when she was a toddler, she simply wouldn't. So guess what? We use her middle name as she requests. It's not hard. Your family has a lot of collective nerve. Stand your ground. Only you get to decide what you're called. Ignore the heck out of them until they get the message.